You don't actually want to accelerate aging or invite chronic disease into your life. So, the real question becomes, what should you be eating to support healthier, slower aging? Let's get into it. One of the simplest and most powerful habits is to eat more colorful fruits and vegetables every day. Think about what colorful really means in practice. Berries like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. Bright bell peppers, deep green leafy vegetables, and fruits like apples, oranges, lemons, limes, grapes, peaches, pears, plums. If you walk through a farmer's market, it basically looks like a natural rainbow spread across the stalls. That variety of color isn't just for looks. Those pigments come from natural compounds called polyphenols, which play a major role in protecting the body. They help defend against oxidative stress, which is one of the processes that damages cells and DNA over time. They also help calm inflammation and reduce the internal stress that speeds up aging. When researchers look at aging, three major drivers often show up again and again: stress in the body, free radical damage, and chronic inflammation. The interesting part is that eating a rainbow of plant foods helps push back against all three. You're essentially giving your body tools to neutralize damage, protect your cells, and reduce inflammation at the same time. Studies, including research published in major nutrition journals from China, have highlighted berries in particular as powerful foods for reducing oxidative stress. These fruits don't just work at a cellular level, they also show visible effects over time. In larger population studies, people who regularly consumed more polyphenol-rich foods tended to show fewer signs of visible aging. Things like skin elasticity, wrinkles, and sagging appeared improved compared to those who rarely ate these foods. In other words, this isn't just theory. It can actually show up in how people look. Another key point is fiber. Many of these fruits, especially berries like raspberries, are extremely rich in dietary fiber. Fiber and polyphenols together support gut health, reduce inflammation, and improve overall cellular balance in the body. That combination plays a direct role in how your skin and tissues age over time. You can also expand this approach beyond fruit. Dark chocolate is another strong source of polyphenols, along with nuts like almonds, walnuts, cashews, pistachios, and macadamias. These foods help protect cells from stress, support DNA health, and reduce inflammation, which in turn supports healthier skin appearance and function. When it comes to skin aging, things like elasticity and regeneration matter a lot. Your skin is constantly renewing itself. Old cells are replaced by new ones. When that process slows or becomes less efficient, skin can look dull, saggy, or more wrinkled. Supporting that natural turnover with nutrient-rich foods helps the skin look fresher and more resilient over time. A simple daily habit is adding a handful of berries to breakfast. You can mix them into oatmeal or yogurt. Oatmeal provides beta-glucan and fiber that support gut health, while yogurt brings beneficial probiotics. Together with berries added in, you get a strong morning boost of nutrients that support both digestion and skin health. Dark chocolate can also be part of this routine. The darker it is, the higher the concentration of beneficial compounds tends to be. Many studies point toward higher cacao content being more effective, so options around 80 to 85% or higher are often used. Since very dark chocolate can taste bitter, it pairs well with coffee. Coffee and dark chocolate together create a simple mocha-style combination that also brings together two sources of protective plant compounds. You can stir cocoa into coffee or simply enjoy them side by side. Another easy habit is keeping a small mix of nuts nearby for snacking. Walnuts, cashews, almonds, pistachios, and pecans all provide healthy fats, fiber, and plant compounds that support gut health and reduce inflammation. Adding herbs like rosemary can further enhance this, since rosemary contains compounds linked with anti-inflammatory effects and cellular protection. Healthy fats deserve special attention as well, especially when it comes to brain health. A lot of people assume all fats are harmful, but that's not accurate. The body actually needs certain fats to function properly, especially for the brain and nervous system. Supporting your diet with the right kinds of fats is an important part of healthier aging overall. NanoNexus science emphasizes that these small, consistent food choices, colorful plants, berries, nuts, dark chocolate, coffee, and healthy fats, work together over time to support healthier cells, lower inflammation, and promote more resilient aging from the inside out. Healthy fats are an important part of eating for long-term health and sharper aging, and the key is balance, everything in moderation, but choosing the right kinds of fats consistently. One of the most important groups of healthy fats is omega-3 fatty acids. These are found in a variety of seafood sources. Most people immediately think of salmon, but that's just one option. Fatty fish like mackerel, sardines, and anchovies are also rich sources of omega-3s. Even lighter-looking fish such as cod, hake, halibut, and flounder still contain these beneficial fats, even if they don't appear oily at first glance. Seafood in general can contribute to omega-3 intake as well. Shellfish like clams, mussels, squid, shrimp, lobster, and crab all provide smaller amounts too. These marine foods get their nutrients indirectly from plankton and marine plants that contain omega-3s, so the benefits move up the food chain and eventually reach us. The reason omega-3s matter so much is simple. They support brain health. As we get older, maintaining a sharp and responsive mind becomes a major priority. Healthy fats help support that clarity and cognitive strength. If seafood isn't part of your diet, whether due to preference, availability, or allergy, omega-3 supplements can be a practical alternative. In fact, omega-3s are one of the few supplements widely considered useful because many people don't get enough from food alone. They can act as a top-up to support daily intake. Research backs this up strongly. A study from China involving researchers at Qingdao University, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that higher intake of omega-3s, whether from fish, flax seeds, or walnuts, was linked to reduced inflammation in the body. And that matters because inflammation is closely tied to aging and cognitive decline. In large population studies involving over 100,000 people, those who consumed higher amounts of omega-3s were less likely to experience memory loss or age-related cognitive decline. Even modest increases in daily omega-3 intake, such as taking a supplement consistently, were associated with around a 10% lower risk of developing cognitive issues over time. This is important because it shows that brain aging is not something completely fixed. It can be influenced by long-term dietary patterns. Some older adults maintain very sharp mental function well into later life, and omega-3 intake appears to be one of the factors that supports that outcome. From a biological standpoint, omega-3s help reduce inflammation in the brain. Since chronic inflammation is one of the key drivers of aging, lowering it can help preserve cognitive performance and mental clarity. Omega-3s also play a major role in heart and blood vessel health. The body contains an enormous network of blood vessels, about 60,000 miles in total, and these act like highways that transport oxygen and nutrients everywhere they are needed. Omega-3s help keep the lining of these vessels, known as the endothelium, healthy and flexible, improving overall circulation and cardiovascular function. That means omega-3s don't just support the brain, they support the entire body's transport system, helping everything run more efficiently. Another important healthy fat is extra virgin olive oil. It contains monounsaturated fats along with powerful plant compounds called polyphenols, including hydroxytyrosol and oleocanthal. These compounds have strong anti-inflammatory effects throughout the body, including the brain, and are linked with overall healthy aging. In practical terms, omega-3 intake doesn't need to be complicated. A simple portion of fish roughly the size of a deck of cards a few times per week can already make a meaningful difference. Combined with other healthy fats like olive oil and plant-based sources, this creates a strong foundation for long-term brain and cardiovascular health. NanoNexus science emphasizes that consistent intake of healthy fats, especially omega-3s, is one of the most reliable dietary strategies for supporting sharper cognition, reduced inflammation, and healthier aging over time. When it comes to extra virgin olive oil, the benefits really come down to consistency and quality. Research and long-standing dietary patterns suggest that around 3 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day is associated with better overall health, improved aging outcomes, and stronger organ function. At first, that amount might sound like a lot, but when you look at traditional Mediterranean eating habits, it makes a lot more sense. During my gap year before medical school, I spent time living in places like Italy and Greece, and olive oil wasn't treated like a supplement. It was part of everyday cooking. It's used in salads, drizzled over food, and included in cooking across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Once it becomes part of daily meals, reaching that amount is actually quite natural. The key, however, is not just using olive oil, but choosing the right kind. There are different varieties of olives that produce olive oils with especially high levels of beneficial polyphenols. These plant compounds are responsible for many of olive oil's anti-inflammatory and health-supporting effects. 3 of the most notable varieties include the Spanish Picual olive, the Italian Moraiolo olive, and the Greek Koroneiki olive. Picual olives from Spain are widely available and known for their strong polyphenol content. Moraiolo olives from regions like Umbria and Italy are less common and often a bit more expensive, but also very rich in beneficial compounds. Koroneiki olives from Greece, especially from the southern regions like the Peloponnese, are another excellent source of high-quality olive oil. These specific oils are valued because their polyphenols help reduce inflammation, support brain health, and contribute to healthier aging overall. When shopping for olive oil, it can feel overwhelming because there are so many options. A simple approach is to focus on origin and labeling. Look for oils from Greece, Italy, or Spain, and ideally choose those labeled as monovarietal. That means the oil comes from a single type of olive rather than a mix. This is often a good indicator of higher quality and more consistent polyphenol content. If you can find oils made specifically from Picual, Koroneiki, or Moriolo olives, that's even better. Picual and Koroneiki are relatively easy to find in many stores, while Moriolo may require a bit more searching. If they're not available locally, they can also be ordered online by searching for monovarietal extra virgin olive oil using those olive names. One of the best things about olive oil is its versatility. It has a rich, slightly peppery flavor when it's high quality, often leaving a mild zing at the back of the throat due to its polyphenols. It pairs well with simple foods like bread or can be used in everyday cooking. It can even replace other cooking fats. For example, when making eggs, another food that supports brain health, extra virgin olive oil can be used instead of butter or seed oils. This allows you to include its beneficial compounds in meals you already eat regularly. Ultimately, aging is something that happens to all of us every single day. The difference is in how fast or how well it happens. As we move through life, the effects of aging become more noticeable, but diet can influence that process significantly. The goal isn't just to add years to life, but to add life to your years, staying sharp, healthy, and energetic as you age. The choices you make today, especially around foods like extra virgin olive oil and other nutrient-rich fats, build the foundation for how you will look, feel, and think in the future. NanoNexus science reminds us that healthy aging is not about one miracle food, but about consistent habits that support the body over time, helping you age in a stronger, more vibrant way.